The ocean, a vast, indifferent canvas of endless blue and gray, holds.
It swallows ships whole, not with a dramatic gulp, but with a silent, insidious patience. The next, it's gone, vanished, as if plucked by an unseen hand.
No distress calls, no debris fields, just an empty expanse where life once thrived.
These aren't mere accidents. They are riddles etched into the very fabric of maritime history. Among the most infamous of these phantom disappearances is the tale of the Mary Celeste.
It was December 4, 1872, when the British brigantine De Gracia, under the command of Captain David Morehouse,
its sails were set, drifting quietly on the waves, a silent mystery.
As the De Gracia drew closer, a strange unease settled over Morehouse and his crew.
The vessel was a brigantine, clearly in distress, but no one appeared on deck to acknowledge their approach. Captain Morehouse, seasoned sailor with a healthy respect for the sea's unpredictable nature, dispatched a boarding party. What they found aboard the Mary Celeste would etch itself into the annals of unexplained phenomena. The ship was utterly deserted. Not a soul, neither Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah.
It was as if they had simply evaporated into the thin sea air. The scene was one of baffling normalcy, juxtaposed with profound absence.
The ship's single lifeboat was missing, suggesting an evacuation. But for what reason? The cargo of 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol was largely intact, though 9 barrels in the hold were found empty. The ship's papers, save for the captain's logbook, which ended abruptly 10 days prior, were gone.
Yet the crew's personal belongings remained untouched in their quarters.
A sewing machine sat open with a half-finished garment, indicating a sudden interruption.
In the galley, food was laid out on the table, as if awaiting a meal that would never be eaten.
There was no sign of struggle, no blood, no indication of piracy or mutiny. The chronometer and sextant, vital navigational instruments, were also missing, further deepening the enigma.
Mountains. The Mary Celeste was seaworthy, albeit waterlogged to some extent, and its sails were in a state that What terrifying event could have prompted an experienced captain like Briggs to abandon a perfectly sound vessel?
The questions hung heavy in the air, unanswered, echoing across the desolate deck.
The Mary Celeste became, and remains, a floating tomb of a mystery, a testament to the ocean.
From the chilling enigma of the Mary Celeste, our journey into the ocean's most profound disappearances takes us.
This ill-defined expanse of ocean, stretching from Florida to Bermuda and Puerto Rico, has claimed
none, perhaps, are as monumental or as baffling as that of the USS #Cyclops.
In March 1918, during the throes of World War I, the Cyclops was a leviathan of the seas.
She was a massive vessel of steel, carrying a heavy cargo on her voyage. She was a massive vessel of steel, carrying a heavy cargo on her voyage.
Aboard her were 306 souls, crew and passengers, a floating city unto itself.
She was expected to arrive around March 13. The journey was routine, a well-trodden path through the Atlantic.
Yet, the Cyclops never reached her destination. She vanished, utterly and completely.
What makes the Cyclops disappearance so uniquely perplexing is the absolute, terrifying silence that accompanied it.
Hold the course. Do you see anything yet?
Wait, I think I caught something on the radar. It's weak.
The vast, powerful vessel, with its experienced crew and state-of-the-art communication equipment for the era, simply ceased to exist. Search efforts, launched with increasing desperation as the days turned into weeks, yielded nothing. Not a single life raft, not a splinter of wood, not a piece of debris, not even a trace of the heavy manganese ore was ever found.
It was as if the ocean had simply swallowed her whole, leaving no ripple, no whisper of her passing.
The sheer scale of the Cyclops' disappearance fueled the nascent theories surrounding the Bermuda Triangle. Was it the work of malevolent forces, perhaps remnants of a lost Atlantean civilization, or even extraterrestrial interference? Or were there more mundane, yet equally terrifying, natural phenomena at play? Rogue waves, methane hydrates erupting from the seabed, creating vast areas of buoyant, unsupportive water? The official Navy investigation concluded, with chilling brevity, that the cause of her disappearance was unknown.
The insatiable appetite of the Triangle, it seemed, was not limited to the grand steel behemoths of naval power.
The skies above its shimmering, deceptive waters their own grim sunsets, etched.
Two such stories, hauntingly similar, unfolded within a little over a year, involving two aircraft from the same.
It was January 30, 1948, when the Avro Tudor IV, christened the Star Tiger.
On board were 25 passengers and a crew of 6, including Captain B.W. McMillan, a seasoned pilot with thousands of hours logged.
The weather was far from ideal, with strong headwinds predicted, but nothing that seemed insurmountable for a transatlantic flight of its kind.
Reports came in regularly, routine position updates charting its progress across the vast expanse of the Atlantic.
McMillan acknowledged.
He requested a bearing, indicating he was uncertain of his exact position. A common enough occurrence given the rudimentary...
The ground station provided the requested information. McMillan acknowledged. And then, silence. Just as with the Cyclops, the silence was absolute and immediate. No distress call, no indication of
The Star Tiger, with its 31 souls, simply ceased to exist. An extensive search operation was launched, involving...
They scoured hundreds of thousands of square miles of ocean, but found nothing. Not a single piece of...
The sky had swallowed it whole, leaving behind only questions and the chilling echo of Captain McMillan's last, calm words. The shock of the Star Tiger's disappearance had barely begun to fade when, just 14 months later, history...
On January 17, 1949, another Avro Tudor IV, the Star Ariel, departed from Bermuda.
At 8:41 a.m., he sent a routine position report, stating the aircraft was at 18,000 feet.
The message was clear, calm, and utterly normal.
Then, at 9:42 a.m.,
just like its sister ship, there was no emergency signal, no indication of trouble, no final, desperate message.
The Star Ariel vanished without a trace. Again, an immediate and thorough search was mounted.
Again, the ocean yielded nothing. No debris, no survivors, no explanation.
The twin disappearances of the Star Tiger and Star Ariel presented an almost identical enigma.
Both vanished suddenly, without a trace or a distress call, over the same notorious region.
Investigators considered all possibilities. Severe weather, though the Star Ariel flew in perfect conditions.
The official reports, echoing the desolate findings of the Cyclops, ultimately concluded that the causes of both disappearances were unknown.
The inexplicable, however, was not always the primary culprit. Sometimes, even with the full
Such was the case with the SS El Faro, a modern roll-on/roll-off cargo ship.
Yet on September 29, 2015, it departed Jacksonville, Florida, bound for San Juan, Puerto Rico, carrying
Captain Davidson reported a scuttle in one of the holds, the ship listing significantly.
We have a problem, a very, very major problem.
The distress signal, a chilling electronic shriek into the void, followed shortly after.
A massive search and rescue operation was immediately launched. A desperate race against time and the raging.
What they found was heartbreakingly sparse. A life ring bearing the ship's name, a heavily damaged lifeboat, and various pieces of cargo.
Its discovery brought a grim closure to the search, but opened a Pandora's box of agonizing questions.
Yet, even with the VDR's revelations, the central question persisted. Why did the El Faro sail into the hurricane's embrace?
The El Faro's tragedy, unlike the spectral disappearances of the past, was not about an unknown force, but about the agony. From the terrifying Surti of the Elsa's demise. This wasn't a ship that vanished once, but one that refused to stay vanished, a spectral wanderer of the Northern Sea.
For years, she dutifully plied her trade, a familiar sight to Inuit communities and isolated trading posts.
Her legend began in October 1931. Trapped by an early...
The ice had released its grip, and the ship had simply drifted away.
This was not, however, the end of the Beichimo. It was merely the beginning of her ghostly odyssey.
Within days, an Inuit hunter sighted her, empty and adrift, miles from her last known position. A salvage. When the weather cleared, the Beichimo had vanished again. This pattern repeated with eerie regularity for the next 38 years.
She became a phantom, sighted repeatedly, sometimes by whaling ships, sometimes by lone trappers.
Each time she was sighted, she was empty, a ship without a soul. Attempts to board her were almost...
The ice is breaking up! We have to get clear of the ship! Hurry! Watch your footing!
They watched her drift away, powerless to stop her.
The legend grew with each passing year. She was the ghost of the Arctic, a ship that defied...
She became a symbol of the Arctic's untamed power, a constant reminder that even man's strongest creation...
The last confirmed sighting was in 1969 by an Inuit hunting party in the Chuk Sea, still since.
After that, the Beichimo finally, truly disappeared, presumably succumbing to the ice or the deep. The tales of the Mary Celeste, the Cyclops, the Carol A. Deering, the Kaz Etu, and the SS Beichich vessel, from the perfectly preserved but crewless brigantine to the ghost ship of the Arctic, offers a unique window into the abyss. They represent 5 distinct narratives of disappearance, yet they share a common thread, an abrupt, what truly happened aboard these ships. The theories are as varied and numerous as the stars in the night sky. For the Mary Celeste, piracy, mutiny, and even a sudden, terrifying squall driving the crew to abandon ship have been proposed. The Cyclops' fate is often attributed to a catastrophic structural failure compounded by a severe storm. Carol A. Deering's empty decks have fueled speculation of mutiny, piracy, or a rogue wave sweeping the crew overboard.
The Kaz-2's perfectly laid table and untouched life jackets point towards a sudden, unexpected event. A freeze.
And the SS Beichimo, a literal ghost in the ice, serves as a testament to the brutal, relentless power of the... Common threads weave through these theories. The unpredictable fury of the weather, capable of generating the ever-present specter of human error,
whether through navigational mistakes, structural oversight, or a moment of fatal misjudgment.
And the darker, more conspiratorial possibilities of piracy, mutiny, or even covert military operations.
These 5 stories serve as powerful testaments to the enduring mysteries that lurk beneath the surface. They remind us that despite our maps, our sonar, and our satellite imagery, there are still vast stretches of our planet.
The ocean is a living entity, a force of nature that commands respect, humility, and an acknowledgement of its boundless secrets.
It is a realm where the known can swiftly become the unknown, where solid ships become vessels.
The tales of these vanished ships are a stark reminder of humanity's delicate place in the grand scheme of nature.
They are not merely historical footnotes, but ongoing invitations to ponder the limits of our knowledge.
If these stories have stirred your curiosity and ignited your imagination, then you've only scratched the surface of the ocean's incredible mysteries. Join our growing community of ocean enthusiasts and never miss an expedition into the unknown. Dive deeper with us next time. Which of these vanished ships do you find most intriguing, and what's your wildest theory about its disappearance? Share your thoughts in the comments below.